go live with streaming software, but the little thing doesn't change colors so one can go live. I wish they'd get this sped up a bit, but maybe there's value in the pace that it is. Who knows? Accepting what is. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Happy Thursday. Welcome to your early morning intuitive guidance. I'm Dr. Bonnie Nussbaum. Here are some words of wisdom to start your day off well. And these are not my words of wisdom. I'll sneak some stuff in the middle as I usually do. And even though I'm attributing them to Daniel Scranton, they're not his words either. They're coming, it's channeled information. Good morning, Nancy. Welcome, welcome. You're the first one popping on today. Glad to have you here. We'll give it a minute and let some of the others pop in. Need a drink. Hang on. I made the mistake of having the window open briefly this morning. Good morning, Betty. Glad you are here. Welcome. Better stay in the house today, Betty. It is totally gray and smoke covered out there. I was talking to my friends north of me, the direction I'll be heading tomorrow, and they're literally seeing ash coming down and landing on things. That is not going to be good for car finishes. Anywho, and it's certainly not good for lungs. So I told my sister I would not be taking baby Scarlett out tomorrow for a buggy ride because I was not going to be the ones to mess up her virgin lungs. So we'll just have to hang out in the house and deal with the dog with his cone on and yeah, have a day. But I loved this reading. It was sent to me by my friend Kathy. Thank you, Kathy. I appreciate that. I know she usually watches after the fact. So good morning, Beth. Glad you are here. Welcome, welcome. But this information, and I actually have another friend who often will share these with me, Janice, and I'm seeing Janice today with another friend, Kathy. So I have lots of Kathys in my life. It must be a good name for friends of Bonnie. So I want to read this to you, and I may read some sections a couple of times just because I know how hard it is to penetrate this skull of ours. We have believed something for so long that it becomes God's honest truth when it isn't. Good morning, Gwen. Yes, very smoky here as well. The sunset was pretty interesting. It goes down over here for me, and I looked out the window and here's this big pink orb and all the colors radiating out from it, but it was almost totally obliterated. Yeah, this is not fun, not pleasant. So, anywho, but it's part of our process. One of the ways I was framing this, and I think it's a useful way to frame this, is it's kind of like getting smudged. It's kind of like Mother Earth and all of its inhabitants are getting smudged. And we could use the smudging, I think. So that's the way I'm framing this one up. This reading, we're going to do some breath and some tapping to create as open a field for this information to enter as possible. I want you pondering this when we're done today. And they start at the beginning talking about this. This message is more important than you think it is, and here's why. And I love that paragraph because it's like, oh yeah, you've got us figured out. You've got us nailed. I get it. Morning, Barb. Glad you are here. Welcome. So it's a call to action. This is a call to action. Hear it as such, process it as such, feel it as such. Okay. So let us start with some tapping and some breath. In through the nose, out through the mouth. In through the nose, out through the mouth. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Just got a hit. We need to change to the karate chop spot. I'm going to do them both. I want as much bang for my buck today as possible because this, again, is what we would consider a big shift. The universe considers all shifts to be of equal magnitude. You can, but like they say, the universe can manifest $1 million as easily as $1. Same for this. But this is our let's shift gears spot. Okay, back to here. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. One more nice deep breath in and out. Okay, now what I'm hoping is that you feel as open as possible. Feel grounded, grounding through your feet into Mother Earth. We want that divine connection above and into Mother Earth. And we are a conduit. We are a conduit. And I want you to listen to this with that intuitive part of yourself that knows what you need to take away from this message. All right. So this is channeled information from Daniel Scranton, and it's called "This Message is More Important Than You Think." Could he make it any clearer? This message is more important than you think. So let's breathe into it as we go. It says, we are here for you. We are the creators. We are a 12th dimensional collective of non-physical beings, and we are here to help. It is our knowing that you are powerful beings and that you have all the power that you need right now. Let's repeat that part. You have all the power that you need right now. We also know that as powerful beings, you chose to experience being less empowered. Can you feel that? That disempowerment that's kind of all over the place? The hand wringing, well, what can we do? All that. Okay. Notice that we said experience being less empowered because you still are all powerful beings, but you have chosen to limit the access to all the power that you have and are in order to have very specific experiences there on earth. And you made that choice so that you could experience what it would feel like to move from feeling less empowered to feeling more empowered. Thank you, Gwen. I appreciate that. Isn't that interesting, though? We chose to feel disempowered, even though we're all powerful beings, in order to feel what it feels like to go from feeling disempowered to feeling empowered. Isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting? So here's the paragraph about the message being more important. This message is more important than you think it is, and here's why. Many of you will receive this message and it will resonate with you. And then you will go right back into the illusion of not being powerful. Ever had that happen? I've had that happen a bazillion times where I learned something and I go, yeah, that's right. And then I slide right back into the rut, the groove that's been worn into my brain over all of the experiences that I've chosen to apply whatever the message is to. So if the message is, I am disempowered, I am not powerful, blah, 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 and I've got that groove worn in my brain, we hear this, we buy into it briefly, but we don't begin to live from it. We don't begin to live from it. Until we do so, we're going to reiterate that old message that we've bought into, that we are disempowered, right? So I want to read that part again, because I really hope if you take nothing else away from this whole reading, please take this part. This message is more important than you think it is, and here's why. Many of you will receive this message and it will resonate with you. And then you will go right back into the illusion of not being powerful. Yes, Gwen, we slide back into what is comfortable and routine and disempowering. All right. And you will once again agree with the prevailing view within society that says those people over there have all the power and we who are the few have very little power. That is not true. That is part of the illusion. You have to understand that most of what you consider to be true is actually just a belief that you have bought into so fully that it seems like a truth. And then, and only then, can you let go of all of those beliefs that tell you that you are less powerful. Now, remember, we said you are there to experience what it feels like to move from the experience of being less empowered to the experience of being more empowered. And that means that you are going to experience yourselves as being more empowered, and you are going to do so in this lifetime if you continue to move forward on the awakened path that you are on. Let that percolate for a little bit. You don't need anyone else to give you more power in order to have that experience of being more empowered. And I was at great risk for that yesterday moving into today. And now I'm aware of it. And I'm literally going to write something on my hand so that when I'm in a particular meeting today, I've got it. That I am empowered, that I am capable of making things happen, that I don't need to rely on others. I will draw to me the others that I need to accomplish what I need to accomplish, but I don't need to subrogate what I'm trying to do to others because I think they're smarter, they know more, they've got more connections, they've got more money, blah, 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 all the things that we do, right? No, no, no. Okay, so let's see. Now remember, we said you are there to experience what it feels like to move from the experience of being less empowered to the experience of being more empowered. And that means you are going to experience yourselves as being more empowered, and you are going to do so in this lifetime if you continue to move forward on the awakened path that you are on. You don't need anyone else to give you more power in order to have that experience of being more empowered. You don't need anyone to give you more money. You don't need anyone to give you a weapon. You don't need anyone to give you a med bed or any other piece of technology that you may have heard of. You are there to empower yourselves by remembering who and what you really are as source energy beings, as all that is. Good morning, Mel. Glad you're here. Welcome, welcome. As I'm getting intense here. Let me read that one again, because that to me is really powerful. You are here to empower yourself by remembering who and what you really are as source energy beings, as all that is. We are a part of all that is. We are it. And when you are who you really are, then you simply have to move into the practice of that, knowing through thought, word, and action. Hang on to that knowing. It's thought, word, and action. So writing it on my hand, that's an action. When I read it, there's a thought there. How are you going to make this real for yourself, real enough to overcome that inertia of the old belief? I am disempowered. I am disempowered. How will you override that? Let's see. Begin to remind yourself every day of how powerful you are. And remember that you are there to take the shackles off of yourselves that are self-imposed, so that you can know yourselves as the powerful creator beings that you are. I love that idea of take the shackles off of yourselves that are self-imposed. We put them on. Someone else may have said, you have no power, but we're the ones who drank that Kool-Aid, who believed it, who bought into it, right? I like this next line too. If you have been experiencing yourself as less powerful for a long time, then remember that the belief in a lack of power is not more powerful than a belief in how empowered you truly are. They're equal in power, those beliefs. Which one do you put your focus on? Which one do you buy into? Which basket do you put your psychological eggs in? Okay? You just think that the belief in a lack of power is stronger because you held it for longer. But if you look at it a different way, you can tell yourself the truth that you've already tried that belief on for size. It doesn't fit right. That belief that you're less powerful, it does not fit right. It doesn't feel good. And now you are more ready than ever to let go of the belief in your lack of power. Instead, most people call it a deeply ingrained belief, and therefore you make it harder on yourselves to let it go. It doesn't have to be hard. It can be the easiest thing you do today to let go of your beliefs in your lack of power and to embrace your belief in your empowerment. Yes, take the shackles off ourselves. They are self-imposed. Yes, 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 yes. And there are those who feed that self-imposed belief because it benefits them. If you buy into I'm weak, you aren't going to give them any difficulty, right? Then we get to be sheeple. I don't want to be sheeple. Let's see. And it could be the easiest thing you do today because of how good it feels when you do it. We are the creators and we love you very much. So, how's that rolling around in your head? What's your mind doing with that? Is your mind saying, hell's yeah, I'm in, I'm powerful, I can do all kinds of things? Or is that the committee in your head starting to chatter already? Well, remember this time when you couldn't do that? Remember when this didn't work? And all the things. It's safer to be not powerful. Blah, blah, blah. But go back to the point where they're telling us we chose to come here and allow ourselves to feel disempowered in order to feel what it feels like to go from disempowered to empowered. We choose that. We get to decide that. Put some thoughts in the feed. I love that you're putting in the things that are grabbing you out of this, because this is really powerful. Excuse me, smoke's getting to me. Exactly. Think about this. We've got door number 1 and door number 2 within. Which one are we choosing to open? And it, again, at the end here, it's talking about it doesn't have to be hard, Barb. It does not have to be hard. So let me read that part again. If you look at it a different way, you can tell yourself the truth that you've already tried on the old belief that we're disempowered for size. It doesn't fit. It doesn't feel good. And now you are more ready than ever to let go of the belief in your lack of power. Instead, most people call it a deeply ingrained belief, and therefore you make it harder on yourselves to let it go. So call it a surface belief. Call it a spurious belief. Call it a useless belief, whatever you want to call it. Don't pick the words that imply that it's deeply embedded, right? So I was talking about the groove. No more groove. We're softening out that area. And think about it as becoming a super highway. Maybe it feels like the super highway is the I am disempowered, and the dirt road is the I am powerful beyond measure. That Marianne Williamson thing, I am powerful beyond measure. Hang on, something's niggling. I was doing some energy work with someone yesterday, and as she was on a table, and as I was working with her body, we got to the knees, and the knees were like shut off. Nothing was getting below the knees energetically. So we worked on it a really, really long time with the knees, getting almost like opening up the portal so the energy can truly flow through her whole beingness. Do a body scan. Let's do it right now. Close your eyes if you're able, not if you're driving. Kills me that I have to put disclaimers in there like that, but nonetheless, let's save ourselves from ourselves. Just breathe, and I want you to scan your body from head to toe. And just notice if there's any areas of your body that feel stuffy, backed up, stuck, gummed up, not moving. If so, put your attention there. Just don't fight with it. We're not going to fight. Just put your attention there, and let's breathe together. Breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth. In through the nose, out through the mouth. In through the nose, out through the mouth. And set a conscious intention that breathing, all the breathing that you do during the course of the day, whether you're paying attention to a particular breath and making it conscious or not, excuse me, all of those breaths are going into that area, benefiting that area, loosening up the gunk in that area, flushing it out. Drink a little extra water today, flushing it out, right? So, and Barb says, hard with certain family members. Absolutely. We all have those people in our lives who aren't playing the game the way we're playing the game. They aren't interested in up leveling. They aren't interested in changing their thought process that has a negative impact on them and others. What are our opportunities there? It's our opportunity to learn how powerful we are, that we are so powerful that we can be in the presence of those shut down naysayer people and it doesn't impact us. It doesn't impact us. And I know people are going to say, well, it's impacting me right now. I totally get it. I totally get it. It's a constant work in progress for me as well. And when I have a success, like family Zoom last weekend, didn't get ruffled as much as I typically would by the people who know the best how to push your buttons, right? Absolutely. Those are our opportunities. Rather than viewing them as, okay, here comes the disaster of another family Zoom, or oh crap, here's a holiday and we have to celebrate so and so's birthday and it's just going to be oppressive. Change that thing. Here's an opportunity. Here's my opportunity this week, this day, this hour, whatever, to practice this stuff. Let's see how I do. When you view it as an experiment, when you view it as an opportunity to practice, when you view it as your training program, it becomes much easier and even sometimes kind of exciting to take it on. Let's see how I do this time. Think about a golfer trying to get a hole in one. They try, they try, they try, they try. Sometimes dumb luck happens and they get one. Sometimes skill happens and they get one. And then they're in that empowered stage, right? So we're learning as we're dealing with the difficult family members, as we're dealing with the circumstances in our world where we're hearing no, 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 as we're coming up against something that we don't know anything about and we don't know how to get the answers to it. All of those are the opportunities to step into our empowerment. So at one of my retreats, we did this and it was really helpful. At the beginning, I just had it was all women stand there and I just took their picture. I didn't give them any direction at all. At the end of the retreat, I said, stand in your power pose. And we had everything from this to all kinds of stuff. Took the picture again, showed them a before and after. The energy was totally different. We can choose that. We get to choose that for ourselves. I will choose that today as I'm struggling with something that is out of my comfort zone. And I'm just going to, all right, let's tackle this. Let's see what we can do with this. Let's see what opportunities come up. Let's see what information comes up. And let's decide, what are we going to do about this? So I wish you all well with this practice. If you want a copy of this, excuse me, his name is Daniel Scranton, and I think it's either danielscranton.org or danielscranton.com, and it's Scranton, and it was yesterday's reading. So hopefully this gets you enthused, especially that paragraph about this is going to resonate with you, and then you're going to go right back into the illusion, unless you choose not to. Unless you choose not to. I choose to be happy and positive today. Yay, you! I agree. I will also. Let's have an awesome day. We'll see you again tomorrow. Very early tomorrow. It's Scarlet Day. And remember that we are capable of far more than we think we are. We are all powerful beings. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.